After McDonald's found success with the Happy Meal in 1979, it didn't take long for their competitors to try to catch up. In this series, we're taking a look at Wendy's and the different kids' meals and promotions that they've done over the years. This video is going to be covering the kids' meals that came out at Wendy's from the year 2000 until 2009. If you have any memories of the toys that we talk about in this video, please let me know about those in the comments below. I love hearing about those stories from people. There is going to be one more video in this series where I'm going to cover the kids' meals that came out in the 2010s. And so if you want to make sure to know when that one comes out, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So now let's go ahead and jump into the kids' meal toys at Wendy's that came out in the 2000s. Starting off in 2000, running from January 3rd until February 6th, the Wendy's Kids Meal had a theme of wildlife, which gave us 5 different little plushes, including a fish, a monarch butterfly, an octopus, a tree frog, and a zebra. Then from February 14th until March 12th, Kids WB's The Big Cartoony Show had a series of toys that were either tied into Tiny Toons, Pinky and the Brain, or Animaniacs. I do need to make a slight correction here, where I had this Ask Babs toy featured in the last video in the set that was just Tiny Toons. Thank you so much to the people who pointed that out in the comments. It actually does belong here with this set. Next, from March 13th through the month of April, there were a series of toys called the Mini Hasbro Classics, which were based on toys and board games put out by the Hasbro company. There was a mini version of the board game Cooties, Hungry Hungry Hippos, and Trivial Pursuit Jr., as well as a small Tonka truck and a set of Play-Doh. The next set promoted Schwinn bikes, and it ran from May until June 11th. In here you could get a Schwinn wristband, a canteen in the shape of a padlock, Schwinn sunglasses, a Crazy 8 card game, and a set of Schwinn stickers. Running then from June 12th until July 23rd, you could get one of 5 different Looney Tunes pins in your Wendy's Kids Meal. Each one of these came with a base in the shape of a pie piece, so you could put them all together to easily display them. The 5 pins that you could get were the Tasmanian Devil, Daffy Duck, Marvin the Martian, Sylvester the Cat, and Wile E. Coyote. Snoopy would be back again in the Wendy's Kids Meals, this time promoting the 50th anniversary of Peanuts. In here you could get a few different things, including a plush Snoopy, a blue and yellow confetti dome, a Snoopy keychain watch, a puzzle that came in the doghouse, a Flying Ace Snoopy plaque, and then another plastic doghouse toy. The set ran from July 24th through September 3rd. Starting the next day on September 4th and running until October 22nd, Garfield could be found in the Wendy's Kids Meals. In here you could get a 3D decoder, a fishbowl, what they called Garfovision, which was a skill game where you launched food into Garfield's mouth, the Crouching Garfield figure, which had a magnifying glass inside, a memo board, and a suction cup Garfield. Running from October 23rd until November 19th, the book series Curious George was featured in the Wendy's Kids Meals. In here you could get a Curious George parachute, a swirling Curious George bouncing on a bike, and a Curious George circus mirror. Finishing up the year 2000, running from November 20th until December 31st, was a set of toys based off of the Jim Carrey Christmas classic, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. In here there was a Max the dog with antlers, the Grinch on a sleigh, a Grinch head sticker dispenser, a notepad that looked like an ornament, and little Who House viewers. That brings us then into the year 2001, and this one starts out the same way that 2000 did, with a new set of wildlife animal plushes. This time you could get a clownfish, a cardinal, another tree frog, a bee, or a tiger. Going from February 2nd until March 11th, Sports Illustrated for Kids X Team could be found in the Wendy's Kids Meals. In here you could get one of 4 different figures, a motocross toy, an inline skating toy, a skateboarding toy, or a snowboarding toy. Each one of these also came with a ramp. The video game Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge would be the next set of toys you could get in the Wendy's Kids Meal. This one would run from March 12th until April 15th. In here you could get a jumping Frogger, a Frogger clock, a marble maze game, and a checkers game. Men in Black the Animated Series would be next up at Wendy's, running from April 16th until May 20th. There were a couple different toys in here, including an ID badge, a pair of sunglasses, a neuralizer, which, if you don't remember from Men in Black, is the thing that can erase people's memories, a Men in Black armband, and a Men in Black bank. May 21st through July 1st, you could get a set of accessories that go along with scooters. This included a small water canteen, a compass, and a few mini scooter toys. Next, from July 2nd until August 12th, the Fox Kids cartoon series NASCAR Racers would be featured at Wendy's. This set would feature 5 different cars that you could collect. Next, from August 13th until September 16th, there was another set of Looney Tunes pins. This time, you could get the Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Pepe Le Pew, or Tweety Bird. Casper the Friendly Ghost would be the next thing you could find at Wendy's in the kids' meals, running from September 17th until October 14th. In here, there was a wind-up Casper Haunted House, Casper's Mystery Magic Box, a glow-in-the-dark Casper belt clip, and a book titled Casper Visits the Midnight Mansion. We stay with kind of that spooky theme as we move into the next set, running from October 15th until November 18th with Scooby-Doo. This one is specifically promoting Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which was a direct-to-video movie. And here there were 5 different toys you could get. There was a small viewer in the shape of a house, a wind-up Scooby-Doo, a search game, a 20-piece glow-in-the-dark puzzle, and a small mystery machine. 2001 finishes up the same way that 2000 did with another set based off of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The toys featured in this set were a light-up Grinch plush, a spinning top featuring Max, the Grinch on a sleigh ice slider, a heart pinball game, and an ornament matching game. 2002 kicked off with a set of toys called Extinct, which were plushes of different dinosaurs. In here you could get a Tyrannosaurus, a Triceratops, a Pterodactyl, a Stegosaurus, and a Brachiosaurus. This set would run from January until February of that year. Next up in 2002, running for the rest of February and into March, there were a set of toys based off of the Jackie Chan Adventures. In here, the toys were Jackie and Jade action figures, an Ask Jackie spinner, Jackie Chan Kung Fu match game, a Jackie Chan pinball game, and an animation wheel. Then moving from April until May, you could get a Championship NHRA drag racer. This set had 5 different cars that you could collect. SpongeBob would be next up in the Wendy's kids meals. This set in particular would be titled House Party. In here there was a SpongeBob notebook, a Gary spinning shell, a Patrick water game, a pin in the shape of Sandy the Squirrel, and a SpongeBob party poster. And that set was running from May until June. That was followed then from June 17th until July 26th with a series called Bots. Now from what I could tell, this series is just original robot designs, which is pretty cool. There were 5 different robots you could collect in here. The movie Stuart Little 2 would be in the Wendy's kids meals running from July 27th through the month of August. In here there were 5 different toys that you could get. There was a Stuart Little rolling soccer ball, Snowbell's Feast to Surprise, Stuart Little's balancing airplane, the wind-up roadster car, and a domino match game. The month of September would have Mario showing up in the Wendy's kids meals. There were 5 different toys in this set as well. In here you could get a Mario figurine, a Mario driving his cart, a Mario Kart Super Circuit game, Mario getting chased by a chain chomp, and then a Super Mario Advance board game. I actually had that board game and we kept that little cardboard box of that thing forever. In October of 2002, there was a fun little set called the Erie Express Lionel Train Cars. This was a set of 4 different train cars that all had spooky Halloween theming. There were skeletons, werewolves, monsters and ghosts, and even mummies. And then in December of 2002, there was a set of toys to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the movie E.T. the Extraterrestrial. In here you could get an E.T. figurine, a toy of E.T.'s ship, a calendar, a 2-sided puzzle, and a little fake cassette tape of the movie that had E.T. inside that actually would light up. The last set we're going to talk about in the year 2002 actually doesn't have a date tied to it, and we're actually going to see this happen more and more as we're going through the years, where the documentation on when some of these things happen is just harder to find. And if I couldn't find the exact dates on something, I just kind of put them here at the end of each of the years. The first one we're going to have here in 2002 is a set of toys based off of the Clifford the Big Red Dog show that was airing on PBS. In here there was an alarm clock, a toy of just Clifford's face, Clifford and Emily together, a measuring tape, and then a figure of Clifford by himself. As we get into the year 2003, running from February until March, the video game series Backyard Sports would be featured at Wendy's. In this set, you could get a baseball dugout game, a basketball bead game, a canteen in the shape of a red cleat, and then a football viewer. We move then and go from March until April, and in here you could get a set of Monster Jam trucks. There were 5 different trucks to collect in this Wendy's kids meal promotion. Then going from April until May of 2003, Nickelodeon's show Hey Arnold was featured. They had a little board game, as well as a few different figures for Arnold, his buddy Gerald, Helga, and Grandpa. Pokemon is finally going to show up here at Wendy's, running from May until June of 2003. Now this set didn't actually come with any of the playing cards. They had their own little cards you could collect. But there were also 5 toys in this set. There was a Pikachu clock, a Pikachu keychain, a Kecleon keychain, a Celebi compass, and a Charizard card caddy. As we move then into July and running until August, there was a set of toys based on the Land Before Time series. In here you could get a Littlefoot that has Ducky on his back. This is a bank. There's a bobblehead Sarah, as well as a Spike's art pad kit and a flapping Petrie. And then there was a Sharptooth that could open and close its mouth. Then in the month of August, Motocross Racing had a set of toys where you could get a mini bike and then a little launcher that could shoot out a little blue bike, what they called a racing revealer, and then a 21-piece two-sided puzzle. We then get into September and we can find a set of toys based off of the adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. In here you could get a Jimmy that was using a jetpack, which would slide across the table on his belly, Jimmy in a light-up rocket, Cindy in a time machine that could glow in the dark, Sheen that could dress up like Ultralord, and what they call an intergalactic message notepad. Running in October and then into November, the cartoon based on the Nintendo property Kirby, titled Kirby Right Back At Ya, had a set of toys at Wendy's. And in here you could get an Ice Kirby, Kirby riding a Warp Star, an Ask Chef Kirby, and even a Kirby board game. The movie Looney Tunes Back in Action would be featured in Wendy's Kids Meals Next, running from November into December. And in here there were 5 different toys you could get, including toys that featured Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, the Tasmanian Devil, and Tweety Bird. The final dated promotion that I have for the year 2003 is Peter Pan, and this ran for the month of December. And in here there were 5 different toys, including a 3D puzzle, a balanced Peter Pan, a backpack clip Tinkerbell, a wind-up crocodile, and your very own Captain Hook's hook. And then to properly finish up the year 2003, we move on to Nickelodeon's Chalk Zone, which had 5 different toys in there. You could get a Snap figure, a chalkboard writing pad, a mystery reveal chalkboard, a spinning chalkboard, and this little competitive ball launcher game that was in the shape of a house. For 2004, we're going to start in the month of March, and here we're going to find a set of toys based off of the movie Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London. For this one, there were 5 different toys, including a multi-tool, a notebook, a secret message helicopter, a spy scope, and a wristwatch. In June, Garfield the Movie is going to be the featured toy at Wendy's in their kids' meals. One of the toys that you could get is a toy that looks like an alarm clock, not a real one, a matching card game, Garfield on a TV, a Garfield plush, and a pair of black sunglasses that say Garfield on the side. Next, we move into August and we have a set of toys based off of the Nickelodeon show All Grown Up, which was the spin-off of Rugrats. In here, there was a bowling game with different pieces that look like the characters, a locker, an Echo microphone, a space arcade game, and a wallet that came with some tattoos. The final set in 2004 that I have the date for was the movie Elf, and this one, of course, was in the month of December. In the Elf set, you could get a Buddy the Elf plush clip-on, a launching Santa's sleigh with Buddy, a Christmas cheer meter, a set of traveling checkers, and what they call a fun kit. The brand 100% Klutz certified also had a set of toys available in the Wendy's Kids Meals in 2004. There are a few different just kind of random things in here, like a magic disappearing star trick, a kid's travel memory game, a spiral draw book, and a mini foxtail. There would also be a set of toys tied in with the PBS show Arthur. In here there were a couple different things, including a board game that had a figure of Arthur on a skateboard, a blue toy phone that was actually a calculator, and a plastic Arthur case. Bendable Animals was also a set of toys in the kids' meal in 2004. In here there were giraffes, ladybugs, and bats. We also had another set of Clifford the Big Red Dog toys. In here there's a Crazy 8 card game, a plastic Clifford figure, and then a plush Cleo, a plush T-Bone, and of course a plush Clifford. Hasbro was back again with another set of classics here in the Wendy's Kids Meals. Cooties was back, as were the Hungry Hungry Hippos, but this time you could also get a game of Barrel of Monkeys and a 3D battleship puzzle, as well as a Tonka wristwatch. There's also another set of Monster Jam monster trucks. In this set you could get Blue Thunder, Bulldozer, Destroyer, and Predator. Nickelodeon Games and Sports also had a set in 2004, and here there were a few different things, including a watch, a backpack clip, and a fabric frisbee. Mario was also back in 2004 in the Wendy's Kids Meals. In here you get another Mario in a Mario Kart, this one specifically from Mario Kart Double Dash. There's a set of Mario collectible cards, a parachute Mario, a little magnet Mario Kart game, and then a Mario plush. Then we move into 2005, and the only set that I know for sure when it took place was the Teen Titans set, which ran from October to November. In here, there were 5 different toys. There was a Robin figure that had a magnet in it, and if you put that Teen Titans logo around it, you could make it spin around and move in different directions. Another cloth frisbee, a Teen Titans communicator that was actually a clock, a wristband, and an activity book set called the Communication Kit. The show Maya and Miguel was also featured in the Wendy's Kids Meals in 2005. In here, there were a few different games, including a soccer football game, a flapping Paco, the parrot, an Ask Maya and Miguel game, a bingo game, and a family DVD game, which Wendy's had been putting out from time to time. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, starring Johnny Depp, also had a promotion at Wendy's this year. In here, there were a few different toys, including a vending machine, a Go Fish card game, what they call a magical factory, a squirrel, and of course, an Oompa Loompa. If you were alive back in 2005, I'm sure you remember those Six Flags commercials with the dancing guy. Those were so popular that they decided to kind of incorporate that into the kids' meals at Wendy's. There was, of course, the tour bus that the old guy drove. There's some sunglasses, a 3D board game, a Six Flags viewer, and a bumper car playset. 2005 also saw a set of 5 Universal family favorites. These all came in imitation VHS cases and had toys that tied in with each of the movies. There was a toy DeLorean from Back to the Future, a little herding game for the movie Babe, a pocket watch for An American Tail, Beethoven had a pick-up bones game, and then Casper had a puzzle. And then our final 2005 set is going to be Wild Mascots, which was just a set of different animal plushes, but they had numbers on them, so they looked like mascots. There was a tiger with the number 23 on it, a shark with the number 12, a frog with the number 27, and a bee with the number 21. Getting started in 2006, the movie Curious George would be featured in the Wendy's Kids Meals. This would run until March. In here, there are a few different Curious George figures and games, like a hoop toss, a marble puzzle game, and a toy where George will flip around a little monkey bar. In March, Stuart Little 3, Call of the Wild, would be featured in the Kids Meals. In here, there was a Stuart Little clip-on container, a Rico plush doll, which was a skunk, Stuart Little balancing canoe boat, an activity art rub kit, and a wilderness lake scout guide. In May of 2006, the movie Over the Hedge was featured in the Kids Meals. Here there was a Rollin' Hammy, a soft-shelled Vern, an Over the Hedge maze race game, RJ's watch, and an Over the Hedge puzzle. Running from July until August of 2006, the movie Zoom, starring Tim Allen, was featured in the Kids Meals. In here there was an activity book, a fingerprint scanner, a grabber, a spinner, and a wrist shooter. Peanuts would be back again in the Wendy's Kids Meals running from September until October. These ones came with just a few different plushes, including one of Charlie Brown, Woodstock, and of course, Snoopy. We had a little crossover between 2006 and 2007 with Charlotte's Web running from December until January. With this set of toys, there were a few different characters from the movie featured, including Charlotte the Spider, Gutsy the Goose, Samuel the Sheep, and of course Wilbur the Pig. There was also a 3D puzzle. 100% Klutz Certified was back again with an undated promotion here. This one came with a few different things, including a nature press, some red sunglasses, a doodle pad, and a 3D puzzle. The last thing we'll talk about for 2006 was a set of Guinness World Record cards, which would show off different Guinness World Records and include facts about each one. As we get into 2007, running from March until April, there would actually be another set of Charlotte's Web toys. These ones would be stuffed animals. This time you would get one for, of course, Charlotte the Spider, Wilbur the Pig, Gutsy Goose, and Samuel the Sheep. But this time you'd also add in Elwin the Bird, Templeton the Rat, and Ike the Horse. Running from April to May of 2007, there were a set of toys that tied in with the Nintendo Wii. In here there was a Wii disc shooter, a 2-sided puzzle, a miniature Excite truck, a miniature Wii baseball game, and a Mario on the Shell, which would interact with a Wii remote toy. That same year, from May to June, there would be toys that tied in with Nickelodeon's The Fairly Odd Parents. There are a few different things in here, including a Magic Star trick, which we had seen before, but this time it is branded with The Fairly Odd Parents. There'd be a motion balancer, a wristband, and then a bobblehead Timmy Turner, and a Crimson Chin action figure. Scooby-Doo would be back yet again from September and into October, this time for the movie Chill Out Scooby-Doo. In here there was a spinning game, as well as the Mystery Revealer book, and then there was also a fuzzy notebook, a mystery machine, and then also a wind-up chattering Scooby-Doo. Going from October until November, there was a set of toys that tied in with the video game The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night. In here there was a Spyro maze game, a Spyro checkers game, a Spyro keychain, a flying yellow dragon with a spinning blade, and a flying Spyro figure with wings that flap. The final dated set for this year that ran from November until December tied in with the movie Mr. Megorium's Magic Emporium. In here there's what they called a fun folder, which had some activities in it, a magnetic crane game, a photo frame, a viewer, and an inflatable Zeppelin. 2007 also saw a set of toys branded Chicken Socks. This is not something I'd ever heard of before. If anybody knows about Chicken Socks, love to hear about it in the comments. In here there was a figure, a rubbing activity book, a wristwatch, and a little board game. Speaking of board games, we also had Cranium, the family fun game, included in the Wendy's Kids Meals. In here there were a couple different games that tied in with Cranium, including Jam Rock Jam and Zoorika. 2007 also saw a tie-in with National Geographic Kids. In here there was a little aquarium, an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus, and a safari jeep that if you placed cards in it, it would give you different facts. 2007 also saw a tie-in with Rock'em Sock'em Robots that had a couple of different toys, including a thumb wrestling kit. And then the last one we'll talk about is called Wendy's Puppies, which had a few different breeds of dogs that you could collect. As we started off 2008, we'll look at April and see another promotion of Arthur from PBS. And here we saw kind of like a recoloring of that phone. It was a blue one before, now it's yellow, still a calculator. There's also an art board game, a stationery kit, some stickers, and then a CD-ROM game called Arthur's Wilderness Rescue. Going from May to June of 2008, DVD games would be included in the kids' meals, these ones tying in with Scene It, specifically Scene It Junior, in which there would be video clips that would ask you questions. That was just a game that you could play using your TV. Going from June until July, there was a set of toys that tied in with the Journey to the Center of the Earth 3D, starring Brendan Fraser. They had a game book, another talking toy where you could slide cards into it. This time, instead of being shaped like a Jeep, it was shaped like a T-Rex skull. It's also a T-Rex toy that kind of looks like the Land Before Time one, but just repainted. Instead of being green, now it's brown. And a set of postcards. And then in October, there's a set in the kids' meals that tied in with the movie City of Ember. In here, there was a cog puzzle, a flapping moth, which seems to be a toy type that Wendy's is very comfortable with. We've seen a lot of flapping toys. There's also the light bulb top, the sticker dispenser, and the scavenger hunt kit. From November until December, Peanuts was in the kids' meals again. These ones featured a number of toys, including Snoopy versus the Red Baron, Snoopy with a typewriter, the Snoopy that has a long neck, and a plush Snoopy as well. The Tale of Despero was in the kids' meals running from December 2008 until February of 2009. And here there are a couple things, including a viewer, a 3D castle puzzle, and a pick-up keys game. There were a few more sets in 2008 that didn't have dates on them, including this Hasbro set, which had Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, Barrel of Monkeys, and Battleship. There's also a set based off of the Ubisoft game Pets, where you could actually get CD-ROM games of Pets dogs and Pets cats, as well as a cat bouncing on a ball, a plush dog, and a Pets Crazy 8 card game. 2008 also saw I Spy at Wendy's, and here there were some physical toys as well as a DVD game. And then our last one for 2008 was just a game Kerplunk, the one where we pull out the straws and the balls fall. That's what it was. And then that brings us to our final year we'll talk about today, 2009. In September of 2009, Scooby-Doo is back again, this time with the live action movie Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. This one just kind of had some repeats of Scooby-Doo toys we've seen before. The chattering Scooby-Doo is back. There's also like this Scooby-Doo game where you launch the Scooby snacks into his mouth. So not really a ton here. The last data one I have is The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. This one actually had 3 toys in it: Flapjack, Captain Knuckles, and Bubby. 2009 also had a set of Mad Lib toys. This, of course, would just include some Mad Libs. And then also what they called the Wendy's Explorer, which is like a flashlight that would show constellations on the ceiling. And then finally a set of toys that went along with the PBS show, Word Girl. There's an audiobook, another magnetic spinning toy, a card game, a balancing Word Girl, and a puzzle. And that's going to finish up our look at this decade. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure, again, let me know in the comments if you have any memories about any of the toys we talked about in this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, you take care. I'll see you then.